from Minerva's garden is going to show you all how I built a fence.
Here is our new fence. These are bifold doors that we got at 30% off at the Rebuilding Center. So happy in Portland, Oregon. And my husband, well, we painted them, we primed them, we painted them. My husband dug 2-foot deep holes for posts. Let me come around to the back here so you can see. 2-foot deep holes for these metal poles. Originally, the plan was we were going to use 4x4 posts, but as he dug, we discovered that this area of the garden is completely full of clay. 2-foot deep holes. We had rain and they filled with 2 feet deep of water, so wooden fence posts were never going to work there. We switched to metal poles, and he got little caps to cap them off at the top. Painted it to match the fence, so really it just blends in. And then he left the water in the holes and just added dry cement, and added more cement and water as he needed to make it the proper consistency. And they dried, and so now we've got some sturdy concrete based poles here to then hold up the fence. He used, let's see if we can get this, he used these little metal loops, and if we come to this side you'll see they're simply bolted on with a little plate on the front, and once it's all painted in, it really just sort of blends into the scenery. So anyway, we have those at the top and at the bottom of each piece. In the center where these 2 doors meet, of course, it's just loose, but he put the pole in the middle and used the bolts around it, so that's going to hold it very securely. Even in winter weather, it should be just fine. And I think it turned out really darling. Bifold door fence section. We also decided, because this is wood, we're in the Pacific Northwest, we get so much rain, that we didn't want the wood to actually be touching the soil because it would just rot at the bottom. So what we did, I just had these extra stones that were on the back side of this project, but I didn't really need them there anymore because I'm going to put in a new flower bed, of course. So we decided, why not just reuse those stones and put them under there? And they're just decorative, and they will keep the dirt away from the wooden fence so it doesn't rot so fast. So anyway, this is kind of the before. I just dug this up, and over here the back side of this area just so full of weeds and horrible, so I'm getting all the weeds out. There was some edging. This edging is really garbage. I do not recommend this plastic edging. I didn't put it in, previous owners did, and we just left it, but it's not very good. I'm gonna leave it. See, we've got an edge where there's gravel and then dirt, and I do need some sort of edging there to keep the gravel out of the dirt, so I'm gonna keep going with it here. And then I don't know, we'll see. I've got a couple of plants that are going to go in here, and a few little starts from around the garden, other things that I have, and I'll pop those in, and I'll show you when we get to that point here when we're done. So now I'm in the process of preparing the little bed here for plants, and I've put in compost and dug it in. Of course, I took all the weeds out and everything, and you'll notice I've already dug it in on the right, but on the left you'll see gravel. And this is a little tip that I learned from the folks at Joy Creek Nursery. Here in the Pacific Northwest we get so much rain that drainage is a real problem, and root rot, where the plants just get inundated with water, it is a real problem. And one tip that I learned from them is to mix gravel into your planting bed. This creates air pockets, and in the soil, and it makes it a little bit easier for the plants to get the drainage that they need. And so I've gone ahead and added some gravel, and I'm going to just mix this in, and we're just about ready to plant. I didn't have the world's most perfect compost. It's a little bit kind of rough compost. It isn't all the way finished. But you know, the plants are not going to know the difference once they're in the ground. It's going to just decompose there in the planting bed just as well as it will in the compost pile. So, so there you have it. I'm going to dig this in and we'll come back in a minute. I'm getting ready to plant a clematis, and I thought you might find this interesting, how to do it. I do a hole that's 18 inches in diameter, and previous to this I've mixed compost and gravel into all of this dirt and mixed it all in, but because the drainage is not great in this soil, it's very heavy clay, I've put extra gravel in the bottom, and then I'm going to mix just a little bit of dirt here on top. And I'm going to add a good handful of bone meal. The bone meal is going to act like a fertilizer, kind of a long-term, slow-release fertilizer. I'm going to mix that in, and then we'll be back. Okay, now when you plant the clematis, you want to plant it so it's 3 to 4 inches below the soil line in the pot. So in other words, you're planting this plant rather deeply. This will help it to establish good, strong roots in the hole. So I put the pot in there and I see it's about the right level. Now what I need to do is take this container out of the hole. I'm going to fill the hole halfway full with water and let it drain just to get it nice and damp so the plant roots will have a nice moist area to go into. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. And here is the newly planted and refurbished little tiny patio area off our kitchen. So we've got the bifold door fence, and we've got a clematis on the right. It's called Viola, and it's got purple flowers. When it won't be blooming for another couple of years probably. Little hosta in there, and in the containers we've got a fuchsia, some sedum, and a fern. So anyway, that's what we have. I'll be filling in with some more stuff here. That's looking pretty empty for me. I like to kind of stuff the bed, so we'll see what I can come up with. But it's a good start. Good day's work.
Bye.